Cold Harbor are one. All will serve my will. The plan is in place. You are but an inconvenience.
Do you have a moment? It's worth your time. You there! There's gold for you if you'll lend me your time. I am a scholar of some import. Import. That is to say, I've traveled quite far. From Cyrodiil, just to study this forgotten shore. I sorely need an assistant. Azai at Oanok? He's my guide to Alikir. He shows me the best routes and helps me make camp. But he doesn't know much about the great history of this land. I need someone to look around the ruins for an ancient sword. Legend says it only appears to a chosen few. I've had to ask strangers to walk through the ruins to look for it. Untrained eyes. I'm that desperate. Azai at Oanok might tell you where to look, if you're willing. I appreciate the assistance from common folk such as yourself. This sword is a significant specimen of lore, direct evidence of a legendary event in ancient Redguard history. There are books about this, but as you may be illiterate, I'll enlighten you. I suspect this is the site where sword singer Navid slew Ilkub, his ally, over the love of the fair Saide. The blade of a sword singer is a physical link between ancient Yokuda and Alikir. Navid used this particular sword to slay his rival and then himself. As a piece of history, it belongs in a proper Imperial museum. The sword singers were so disciplined they could create a spirit sword. A sword made from their very thoughts. Not many could attain such strength of mind. Navid's sword is rare, as it apparently persisted after his death. The blade of a sword singer is a physical link between ancient Yokuda and Alikir. Navid used this particular sword to slay. That's not important to my research. With sword singer Navid and his rival dead, I expect someone else went on to have a dozen children with fair Saide. Isn't that how these stories go? The important thing is the sword. No one's seen the sword or had any luck amongst these ruins. A pity, really. I had such high hopes for some of them.
I'm glad that the Imperial has found someone else to talk to. His haughtiness is suffocating. The sword in question is a wondrous object, and Herminius Sophis believes it will appear to those who have a connection with death or whatever lies beyond. The great scholar from Cyrodiil doesn't know. Imagine that. He wants to preserve it in a safe warehouse in Cyrodiil, where all the other artifacts have been taken, I imagine. If not me, another would surely stand here. My advice to you is simply to look along the shore. Others searched inland and were disappointed. Beware. They covet this blade, and shall come for it. You must leave this place. The sword is cursed. You seek the sword, is it not so? I must tell you, you are not the first to discover it. Others tried to take it, and paid a heavy toll. Take up the blade, and you will see. The sword-cursed are here among us already, circling like half-starved jackals. Can you not sense their jealousy? Their spite? The air is thick with it. The curse was forged in blood and envy. I murdered my dearest friend in a jealous rage, and the blade bears that taint still. The sword-cursed cannot bear the thought of losing the blade. If you touch it, they will come for you. Yes, and they will not stop so long as you carry it. Once you fall, and fall you will be consumed by the same jealous desire that drives them. They are long dead, and thus cannot be killed, though they will sleep for a time. But the blade calls out to them, always. When they wake, they shall seek it out again, and the one who keeps it. You have been warned. Azai, I must speak with you. Did you recover the sword? We must speak before you go further with it. I did not expect you would find it. Only those who are different are capable of such a feat. What do you intend to do with it? I urge you to reconsider. You do him no favors by giving him this blade. You know the curse it bears. Anyone who carries the sword will be attacked by those tortured spirits. Only the dishonored one is not so bound. That is wise. Sword singer Navid was buried at the Lion's Tomb, though he did not deserve such an honor. It was hoped the curse would fade in time, but instead the sword claims more victims. The curse is his to bear. He must take back the blade. No, it is a deep, ancient curse. There is darkness in that blade that even the divines would struggle to banish. Sword singer Navid's spirit seeks to distance himself from the blade, but he is the source of its evil. He cannot keep shedding the burden to others. A deception. I watch Herminius' office so he does not plunder Al-Akir. I know more than his books have explained. That is wise. Sword singer Navid was buried at the Lion's Tomb, though he did not. That is for the best. Leave it at the Lion's Tomb on the shore. Then talk to Herminius' office before you leave. Perhaps he will abandon his foolish search. I warned you, but still you took the sword. And now you bring it to my tomb? Are you deranged? The sword curse will return soon. Take the sword away, quickly. I cannot. Do I not suffer enough? It has been centuries since I committed that heinous crime, and the shame is no less potent. That sword is a reminder I cannot bear. Take it away. I may still find some small measure of peace. No, I cannot. I will not. This is all Ilku's fault. His and Saida's. I will... No. Your words are true. Leave the sword with me.
Any luck finding the sword yet? So few people will work as hard as I do at these things. I'm not surprised that you didn't find anything. It takes keen eyes and an educated mind to fully identify significant artifacts. I may just abandon this site and go deeper in the desert anyway. I heard there were burial sites.
Death comes to us all. May we face it with honor.
Greetings to the Sisters of the Sun.
Heard what you did at the Atatura estate. Tava bless you.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Of course.
Did I overhear correctly? Faharajad asked you to go to Evermor? Sounds like that place is shaping up to be a real trouble spot. I wish I could come along, but the guild's got me doing something else. Probably not nearly so interesting. Of course. That's a big city, though. Wouldn't want to drop you on top of some unfortunate merchant. How about the bridge right outside the gates? I've heard the Reachmen are at the gates, but that could just be a figure of speech. One portal to the gates of Evermor right here for you. Good luck. From what I've heard, you're gonna need it. Well, that's what Simone said, but she's a shameless gossip. Furthermore, she might have meant it as a figure of speech. Surely the Reachmen aren't literally at the gates. At least, I hope they're not. For Evermor's sake. And for yours. Well, it's a long story. I was a novice, and then there was this herd of swine. I meant to send them to Northglen, just outside Evermor, but I got a syllable wrong and... Anyway, I'm not allowed to open a portal into the guild there anymore.
This isn't the dumbest
What
strategy
is it?
I ever heard. I don't know what is. I tell you, things grow darker here by the damn hour. Reachmen are right down there. Came in by boat, took the lighthouse, and now they're crawling up in the woods to assess our defenses. And our orders are to just sit here and watch. Captain Huron's fought the bastards' leader before, Strasnok. He says we're outmatched and we have to just wait them out. I say the captain's a few links shy of a full chain. With our defenses weakened, we can't risk waiting. Absolutely. Captain's ordered us to hold back, but not you. And he did say we need more outside help. Morale's been down in the dung heap since King Eamon died. If you can lop off this Strasnock's head, it'd be an inspiration to the men. I won't lie to you, friend. Things are grim. The king and his heirs are dead. Our forces decimated. Crows are everywhere. People have lost hope. Bring Strasnock's head to Captain Huron at the South Gate. That'll be a big win for us. The king's brother, Duke Renchant. He's at least acting as regent right now. Should have been Queen Argella who took over, but she's not been herself. Understandable after losing her husband and her children, but the people miss her. I wouldn't say that. They just don't know him. Renchant's doing the best he can with what he's got. He's taking action. He's the one who put Captain Huron in charge of defenses. I'm trying not to hold that against him, though. I shouldn't talk bad about the captain. He's probably the right man for the job. He's a Nord, and he's fought the Reachmen before. With most of our officers dead, the Duke only had so many options, and we had to have someone new. Sir Jarnet? Poor old sot. He was escorting Princess Alara when she got ambushed and killed. Jarnet would have been better off if he had died there too. I thought the Queen was going to have him executed. He got off lucky, really. Beats the oblivion out of me. Ever since King Eamon died, they've been showing up all over the city. With all their cackling, it's a damn plague. Creepy, too. They're just sitting there, watching us. It's like they've come to see us all die.
Have you come looking for...
You there! I saw you fighting at the Shrouded Pass. You were remarkable, if you don't mind me saying.
I would walk on if I were you, stranger. This town is cursed. A better question might be what hasn't happened. We've been beset by all manner of horrors in just a few days. Our beloved King Eamon fell in battle against the Reachmen, and so did his son. You must know of the Reachmen. They're the wild clans who live in the mountains north of Evermor. They've come over the border in force and are nearer to the city every hour. Rulership should fall to Queen Argella, but she... I hate to speak ill of our queen, but she simply doesn't have the constitution for that sort of thing. She's appointed Duke Renchant to handle most matters of state. As well as can be expected, I think, under the circumstances. But that's just one woman's opinion. Oh, the birds. Curse them. They started gathering shortly after King Eamon's death. Just 3 or 4 would gather at first, then 10, then 20. And soon enough we were overrun. No, but it certainly seems like an ill omen. After them came the refugees from North Glen, escaping the Reachmen. If I were them, I'd seek refuge at sea, or in Stormhaven. Grim times. Grim times.
I don't know if you picked the best time to visit Evermore, but if you know how to use that weapon, I expect you will be treated as an honored guest. Please excuse me, though. I must see to my duties. Ah, my true king. I knew he had not forgotten us. I am certain there are many ways you can help. You should speak to Duke Renchant if you haven't already. Oh, and Queen Argela's handmaiden. She's very sharp. I, for one, am very glad Faharajad sent you. Many here in Evermore believe the rest of the Covenant has forgotten us.
So much to do.
Divines give me strength. In my time, I've helped both the poor and the wounded, but never both at once.
I left Sentinel shortly after the dead started rising. I've got a real talent for migrating to doomed cities.
Fine goods at fair prices. Buy local. Get your goods here.
I can't seem to get ahead here.
Have you any news from Northglen? My aunt lives there, but I've not seen her among the refugees.
Hello. Hello.
Aren't you afraid?
Are you headed to the Mages Guild Hall? I've been waiting on a shipment of Nirnroot for days. Magister Cernes will not be pleased. If he says anything about turning Gernald into a goat, you'll let me know, right?
Over here, Initiate.
I hope you'll forgive me for making assumptions, but... well, you look like someone who knows how to fight. I mean, if not, then you certainly fooled me. If you do know how to fight, well then, we could really use your help.
I signed on as a farmhand just days ago. Then the Reachmen arrived, scores of them. One stabbed my friend with a knife, made from an antler. Mark me, I will return the favor when we're released from this camp.
Do you mind? I'm trying to have a quiet moment to myself here.
If it's provisions you want, look elsewhere, stranger. Too many hungry mouths in Evermor nowadays.
Some days you just have to do something ostentatious. I can help.
You have a home and a reputation.
Gods, the Duke could have spared us a few tents when we arrived. It's bad enough to be forced from our homes. Now we have to live in squalor.
Welcome to Anchor's Point, a cozy home in weather fair or foul. How can I help?
I'm just livid. Are you drunk yet? 'Cause I am undaunted! So, how are things with you? You know I do. Mighty Mordra's always ready for action. Just as soon as I finish this drink. Listen. Don't wait for me. Go on ahead. Adventure awaits. Right. A place for an adventure. You know who likes adventures? Pirates. And I know where the pirates are. Yes, I'll tell you. But only 'cause I like you. It's called Blackheart Haven. Kind of a big secret, so you know. Shh. But you need a boat to get there. You can catch one off the coast south of here. And tell them Mighty Mordra sent you.
By seed and spleen, the Mages Guild is up to something in Selene's web. It's an untamed forest, a feral place. If the rumors are true, then the guild mages in Reaper's March have gone there, tracked something of great value to them. A creature, a person, to Selene's web.
No clue. It was my Mages Guild informant who referred to the forest as Celine's Web. I bet you'll find out why, if you go.
Son of a troll. I've earned this nap. Don't judge me. I just got back from the Blessed Crucible. Only one on my team that survived. I'd say that earns me a bit of shut-eye. The Gladiator Arena. Away off in the Rift. Dangerous place. Bloody place. Good fun. Now let me get some rest.
What do you want now?
I was told I might encounter you hereabouts. You do not know of me, but I know of you. My uncle is called Ista, and serves as Bergama's justice. You have met him, is it not so? Then you are the one who cleared his name. He speaks highly of you. May Ruptka bring you fortune. The sons and daughters of Bergama bless you.
If it's a drink you want, speak with Mortine. I've got my hands full.
I'd rather drink alone if it's all the same to you, Fla.
I was told I might encounter...
Who are you? Can't you see I'm having a drink with my friend here? Might as well embrace the crows. They're here to stay. If anyone goes, it'll be us, not them.
Now, sorry, friend. Need a higher rank than that to take me on.
Here to play tribute, eh? Good, I need a challenge.
There would be no honor in defeating you now. Rise in rank, then we will have a fair contest.
If you're thirsty, you want to talk to Mortine. DeBella knows she'll want to talk to you. If it's grub you're after, you're talking to the right person. What can I get you?
You a sailor? I don't suppose you're setting out anytime soon. I'm a fair carpenter. I just need a way out of this town. Yeah, you look less ragged than most. Was worth a shot. Are you joking? This place is a ship taking on water. I'm trying to get out with the rest of the rats before it sinks. The Reachmen, a dead king, those cursed spooky crows, the terrified refugees, take your pick.
I'm sorry. Did you want to talk about history? Intriguing subject, isn't it? I've been in the castle library for days. Fascinating how accounts differ relating to the siege of Orsinium. The second one, that is.
When there's no knowledge in the tops of towers, check the bottoms of bottles. I'm just livid.
Why go on?
Greetings.
What do you want?
Hello there.
This inn has quite an impressive library. I'm surprised the Mages Guild hasn't ransacked the place.
If I call a guard, will I get a reward?
Why this one? Why? What is to become of me?
Hello.
Well?
Hail.
A dark fate pursues this one.
Hello there.
Hail.
Hello there.
I hope you'll forgive me for making assumptions, but... well, you look like someone who knows how to fight. I mean...
Greetings.
Not many still take to the waters. To me, it seems like a fine place to stay.
I didn't burn down that house. I swear it's on all 10 of my toes. I'm just a bit of a firebug, you see. I like to watch things glow. Warms me up inside. Small things, mind you. Old abandoned houses and the like. But I wouldn't burn one down with a family in it. Please, stranger, you've got to believe me. Because I know who done it. At least, I think I know who done it. Across the river, there's a cave full of orcs. I heard one of them caterwauling about fiery vengeance just before the guard captain locked me up. I bet you he did it. Just over the Buellsay. Here, I'll mark it on your map. I doubt the captain will let me out of here. I've done a few other things not worth talking about, but at least I can get this deed off my record.
Spare a copper or two.
The captain of the Buellsay Queen still hasn't furnished me with her manifest. I suspected smuggling, but the guard won't even help me enforce the laws.
Hope to be done here soon. Hail.
So much to do.
Hail.
help me get back on my feet?
What is it?
Greetings.
Curse these crows and their incessant cawing. By Arce's beard, I thought gulls were bad. Hello.
Well?
Hello there. Have you ever seen such madness? Every farmer and family have fled to Evermor because of the Reachmen. It'll only be a matter of time before the guards start turning them away, and then where will they go? An invasion, or just short of it. The Reachmen kill what they can eat and burn what they can't. So many farms and livelihoods are destroyed thanks to those monsters. And when will we see recompense? Queen Argella has always looked after her subjects. Why should she not aid us now? If the Evermore army were not manning the garrison down south, we would have an armed answer to those mad Reachmen. I don't pretend to know the reasoning of madmen. They howl for blood like rabid wolves. I've heard them. It's clear they want nothing but our lives. Evermore must protect us!
When times are tough, there's always beer. I hope.
I wasn't always a merchant, you know. Believe me, it's not like I want to be one. Do I look like a salesman to you? Don't answer that.
Hello there.
You recovered all 3 of the Ansei ward. Blessings be upon you. I apologize for my sparse stock, but we must take heart. In times like these, even trifles feel like treasures.
These foolish, dungy Britons starve while a banquet flies overhead. Famine? Ha! Anisha eats like a queen. Crow is bony, yes, but tasty.
Honor to you, traveler. You don't look like one of those poor devils out on the street. But if you come for work, I'm afraid there's none to be had. You found the elegant western headquarters of the Dragonstar Caravan Company. Congratulations. Try not to trip over the crates. Well, discretion is one of the many services we offer to potential employers. Shipping goods overland presents all manner of hazards, Flar. Highwaymen, customs inspections, legal entanglements. Our highly trained professionals grease the wheels. As we say in the caravan trade, trouble someplace just means more travel to someplace else. And let me tell you, right now plenty of people in Evermor are interested in sending their goods or themselves someplace else. Oh, there are always goods to ship, my dear. Screaming children, old women, whatever meager trinkets these poor fetchers can jam into their pockets. There are lots of citizens interested in a trip to Craglorn. Fares are up. A bust always comes after a boom. Alas, I suspect the Reach clans can sack the city soon. If they don't, the Imperials will. Then we'll be on our way. That's commerce for you.
Nothing down here's in the right place. You know what that means? It just means more dumb dung I gotta deal with before I can get out of here. Caravan contract job east of here in those old Aliad ruins. Selosli, they call the place. Some mage out there wants an armed escort, and I'm the only one available to go. I can't stand dealing with mages, especially when it's just me. By Moloch, yes. I could use a partner on this one. Like I said, the pickup's out in the Selosli ruins. Meet me out there and we'll make some coin together.
We set out for Skyrim in a few days. I hope the drovers Dalmy sends with us smell better than the last bunch.
If he was the thief, then that means... I don't suppose you're here to pay your respects to the Blacklight Raiders, are you? A notorious band of treasure hunters from the First Era. They went all over Morrowind, looting and pillaging, stealing our people's most sacred relics. I studied them, and tracked down a lockbox holding their greatest treasure. But I can't open it. Because the fool's password is a combination of letters from the raiders' names and professions. Totally forgotten now. All 4 raiders are buried here, but the gravestones are worn. I found a few clues. I have coin if you can figure this out. It sounds archaic, but the Blacklight Raiders were well-rounded. Warrior, cleric, thief, and mage. The mage wrote a letter to one of the others telling how to open the lockbox. Between the letter and the gravestones, I hope we can solve it. Yes, that's all we have to go on. What we need to figure out is what each of the Blacklight Raiders' names was, and whether they were the fighter, the mage, the thief, or the cleric. Look at the letter. I only know so much. They started out as just a small band of adventurers from High Rock, exploring old barrows and caves, killing bandits and monsters, that sort of thing. Over time, though, they became notorious, especially in Morrowind. I come from a village outside Blacklight. My grandfather always told me stories about the raiders who stole our family's heirlooms. Years later, I heard about this lockbox the raiders had left behind. I tracked it down, and it led me here.
I'm weakening. Will no one help me?
I don't suppose you're here to pay your respect. I hope you're getting more insight into this than me. Every time I think I have it all sorted out, I realize something doesn't make sense. Do you think you know what each of the raiders' names and professions were? We'll see. I've got some of it pieced together. If you can fill in the gaps, I'll be impressed. If you're ready, I'll ask you my outstanding questions. All right. First, I need to know about Joelle. I know she was the warrior, but what was her last name? I hope you're getting more insight. All right. First, that might make sense. If that's correct, though, what was Olivia's profession? Please. Please. I hope you're getting more insight into this than me. All right. That might... All right. If that's true, then what was Willem's last name and profession? All right. Let's see if all your answers add up. All that matters is whether I can open this damn lockbox. Yes! It seems Willem had quite a sense of humor. Now, let's see what's inside. No gold, no relics, just a silly old blade. I'm sorry, but I was counting on something of value. I can't pay you much now. I don't shave, though, so I guess I'll sell the blade. Maybe I can get something for it.
can't believe it. I carried that lockbox around for years.
Please, somebody, come to my aid. Somebody, anybody.
Another good scar for my collection.
Hale, if you plan to journey to Northglen, be wary. Have you not heard the cries for help over the cawing of these cursed birds? Northglen is where our beloved King Aemond fell. The Reachmen there are up to something, but my men and I had to retreat before we could figure out what it was. When my platoon set out, we were 35 swords. But look at us now. These are the soldiers who were grievously wounded. A few cracked ribs, broken arms and fingers, that sort of thing. We plan to set out again soon.
Hail.
I hope you'll forgive me for making assumptions, but...
Hail.
Hello.
Hey, grab a drink.
Greetings.
Yes?
This is absurd. I've committed no crime. And they're just gonna leave me here. I would say to Rut, but I will never get that chance. I'll be speared through when the city is taken. And then these damn crows will eat my remains.
Two steps forward, 2 steps back.
Hmm?
Are you interested in the arcane arts? Magic is an art, you know.
Welcome back to the Guildhall, my friend. The history of Bankerai is rich in lurid and bloody events. Have you brought us any regional books or journals?
Hello there.
Don't mind the dust. I'm just doing a bit of sorting. I understand you're a member in good standing. Would you care to look over my wares?
May Arcade drive back the darkness, forevermore.
Are you interested in the arcane art?
What do you want?
You come seeking knowledge, yes? The Mage's Guild Hall is the place for you.
Hello there.
No, I understand. If you change your mind, I'll be here.
I grow weary.
Greetings.
I've worked for all the best fencers and crime lords. Even did a couple of jobs for the Khajiit crime lord. Splendid paws. Perhaps you've heard of me? I robbed the Evermore trade caravan when it was coming and going. No? That figures. Once you are...
I admit it, I'm attracted to thieves and villains. That's why I like to hang around places like this. It's full of such interesting people. Are you an interesting person? I think you are. So which one are you? A thief or a villain? I have to know.
Well?
What do you want?
You.
Greetings.
Over here.
Well...
Cyrodiil's an...
Well?
So you're the one wreaking havoc down there among those hawkers. I've tangled with a Reachman or two in my day, and my helmet's off to anyone who charges into their ranks that way. Don't suppose you've come to enlist in the town guard, have you? You have old Strasnock's head? Shows bones. Somebody buy this crazy bastard a cup of mead. If you like to cut off Reachman heads, you've come to the right place, my friend. Have you met Duke Renchant? The Duke will want to meet you. Good. Take your time, though. Rest up. You've earned it. The Duke will know of your deed, and you can go see him in the castle when you're ready. He'll reward you well. Might even offer you my job. It's yours if you want it.
If you have a moment, I would appreciate a word. Pardon my intrusion, but I would speak to you on behalf of Queen Argella. I am her handmaiden. The Queen has heard of your recent accomplishments, and she asked me to make a private request on her behalf. The Queen stepped aside, but she remains the rightful ruler of the kingdom, and she still cares deeply for its people. Even now, in mourning, she attends to wounded soldiers and refugees in the chapel, but she has other concerns as well. Quite frankly, she's concerned about the city's defenses, but of course, she cannot publicly question the Duke's policies. This is why we were hoping you could discreetly investigate to see if there's any merit to some of the rumors we've heard. Her Majesty would ask you to inspect the defenses at the East Gate and ask the former guard captain, Sir Jarnet, for his assessment of the Duke's strategy. If you are willing, the Queen also wishes to know why a refugee was put in the stocks. I know Her Majesty would appreciate if you gave these matters the highest priority. After you've completed your investigation, come speak to the Queen at the Chapel of St. Pellin. If there are problems, she should know as soon as possible. Sadly, I expect you are most likely to find him in the tavern, drinking away his sorrows. After Princess Ilara was killed while under his protection, the Queen herself demanded he step down. He was crushed. By no means does she wish to reinstate him, but Sir Jarnet was the captain of the guard here in Evermor for more than a decade. He was a longtime friend of King Aemond as well. The Queen simply wants to hear his assessment of the city's defenses. If we knew that, we wouldn't have to ask for your assistance. The bottom line is that the Queen deferred to Duke Renchant because she believed he was better suited to defend the city. Now, she simply wants to make sure he's doing a good job. Just vague rumors. Let's face it, our forces were devastated in the last battle with the Reachmen, and there is no doubt our defenses are stretched thin. We just want to make sure that everything possible is being done to protect the city. With the city in such dire straits, the Queen is determined to avoid controversy. If people heard she was inquiring as to the state of the city's defenses, there would be an uproar. If you conduct the inquiries, however, it can be more discreet.
Hello.
My estate lies in ashes and the Queen does nothing. Thank the eight that Duke Renshant rules in her stead.
I came to pay my respects to our beloved sovereign, but it seems his body has already been taken south to Banquerai Garrison. No doubt it's safer there.
Hail, traveler. Welcome to Evermor, Banquerai's jewel of joy and plenty. Nonsense. Perhaps it's the weather keeping our citizens indoors. Yes, of course. The weather. Why not rest at our legendary inn for a time? Or sample the ocean's bounty at our famous waterfront? Oh, what's the use? Yes, our city is beset by starvation, ill omens, and despair. What am I supposed to do about it? Tear my hair and rend my garments? Would that make you happy? You think that would help? The Reachmen are pillaging our towns and farms. Our citizens are desperate for food and reinforcements. Can you bring us some? Other than harassing me, you mean? Good. See that you do. Now I must find a way to keep morale up so the populace doesn't panic.
Brave meeting. Mind your tongue in this place. Too many ears and not enough brains. Call it orcish intuition. Moloch's the god of oaths. My nana always said, we Orshermen can smell a lie, and something around here stinks. Of course, it could be just some scullery maid cheating on her husband.
I hope you've not come looking for the Queen. She's left all matters of state to Duke Renshant. I heard Her Majesty's tending to the indigent masses at the chapel.
Ah, I have seen you before. Were you not the one who drove the Ranetu from Sentinel? Yes, it is you. 1,000 thanks, my friend.
Cannot wait to return to Hammerfell. This city stinks of dog and bird droppings.
All hope seems lost.
You're welcome to Evermor, stranger. You look like someone who's seen your share of battle. And in a time like this, that makes you a valuable commodity. You should speak with Guard Captain Huron. He could use your help.
No wonder the townsfolk are so glum. Look at this throne room. I've seen more cheer in a mausoleum.
Oh, my beloved queen. If you see her, please tell her she must eat. Since the king's death, she just isn't taking care of herself. Fate does not smile upon me. shall I do?
Greetings.
No trinkets, but the box has not been opened. The time for gifts has not yet come. Great gifts often appear as a surprise, but sometimes the surprise should be spoiled. With an open mind, one hears truth, however dark it may be. No! The telling has already been done. I am here to listen and to watch. I'm a crow. What more do you need to know?
Don't come too close. I'm not really sure. It's awful, stranger. Aches, chills, flop sweat. At first I thought it might have been skull and fever, but it came on so suddenly. I think it might be something much worse. Too risky. Could be contagious. Plus, I've already tried all the curatives they would suggest. Honestly, I don't even think I can stay here in the camp much longer. I'm putting everyone at risk. If I can gather up the strength, I plan on making for Kerbal's Hollow. My Nana used to talk about a cave where the sick would linger. Supposedly, anyone who entered the cave could be cured, no matter how severe the illness. Here, I'll mark it on your map. It's not a short journey, but I've got to try.
I signed on as a farmhand just days ago. Then the Reachmen arrived, scores of them. One stabbed my friend with a knife, made from an antler. Mark me, I will return the favor when we're released from this cave.
Gods. Greetings.
What do you want?
Who are you? Can't you see I'm having a drink with my friend here? Might as well embrace the crows. With 15 guards and a couple quivers of arrows? Not a chance. Everyone's dead. The king, the prince, the knights and soldiers. The job's almost done, just a few stragglers left. You know who I'm talking about? Me and you, that's who. Renchant, sure. He's realistic, at least. He knows we can't last a day unless we get some help from the outside. Of course, the new guard captain, Huron, doesn't seem to want any help. The lout brushed off an offer from the Fighters Guild. Sure enough, Huron said he's exploring other options. Don't know what those options are. Don't hear much down here, though. Say, why don't you ask the crow? I swear the thing's talking. Probably knows more than we do. More than me, at least.
When there's no knowledge in the tops of towers, check the bottoms of bottles. One can witness the larger view from on high, but one must come down below to see what hides in shadows. The light hides in shadows, but only there can it shed on secrets. A secret told is no secret, but all knowledge has its time.
May St. Pelin watch over you, traveler. I'm afraid I can't tarry. There are many here who require my attention.
Those Reachmen, by St. Pelin's sacrifice, they're inhuman. I saw their faces beneath the rotten leathers. Black eyes, like a troll's eyes. Gods help us.
Hello there.
Hey, old friend. I apologize for the mess. The chapel is usually a bit more tidy. Yes, the rest of my comrades stand atop the walls of Bankerai Garrison. Only I and a few others are left to watch over the chapel. Someone had to stay behind to mind the house. Windows need fixing, the roof leaks, the door won't stay closed. I keep busy. Besides, warfare is a young knight's game. I'd just get in the way. Aye, I did at that. This is really work for more nimble hands than mine, but I do what I can.
If these are to be this soldier's last moments, praying with her is the least I can do. Please, leave us be.
Blessings of St. Pelin be upon you. What brings you to the House of the Divines? Do you need aid or shelter? Ah, yes, our namesake. He's a lesser-known saint, to be sure, but I suspect he'd like it that way.
He had many virtues, and chief among them was humility. St. Pellin was a simple beadle who tended to the soldiers of Bankerai garrison. This was long before the knights who bear his name took up residence. In those days, the garrison held off far more than simple armies of men. Vampires, wolves, and faceless shadows that made up a mighty army known as the Grey Host. Such a blasphemous aggregation has not been seen since the First Era. No one bothered to inquire, more than mere slaughter, I should think. Whatever their motives, when they crashed upon the walls of the garrison, they slew hundreds, draining them of their blood and casting down their empty husks. The vampires screamed their dark curses and slammed their claws and leathery wings into the gates of the fortress. St. Pellin knew that only blood might hold them at bay, so he cast himself into the throng and offered his own blood to the creatures. Indeed, the vampires set upon him and began to devour him, but seeing his great courage, our Lord Stendar filled St. Pellin with an ocean of blood such that the vampires drank and drank, but could not drain him dry. So struck by his sacrifice were the soldiers of the garrison that they seized the moment and pushed a tottering battlement down upon the preachers gathered before the gate, destroying them. And every word of it truth. May we all learn from his example to give of ourselves what we can for our friends. We may well find that we have more to give than we thought possible. She's doing Mara's good work, my child. Queen Argella has a warm heart that finds no comfort in the palace. She came here shortly after the death of the king to aid us with the sick and the poor. Not all nobles are born to rule. Her Royal Highness finds her true calling in the simple joys of good work and charity. She would have made a fine priestess had her fate not been otherwise.
Why must I suffer so?
So Count Hosney's back to normal.
Hello there.
Thanks to you.
I ask Master Larhoth for guidance. He says, poke sharp end into the fighting doll. Fine advice, no?
Hail.
This is absurd. I've committed no crime. For speaking the truth, nothing more. The Imperial Army has just conquered the largest city in southern Bankerai. And mark my words, because I have just come from Hollandstand. The Imperials infiltrated the city and seized it overnight. They enslaved half the population. They will do the same here. But when I suggested this to the guards, they locked me up. They said I was spreading half-truths and paranoid delusions. They said the people here have had enough fear with the Reachmen and cannot afford to hear my ravings. Please, you must get me out of here. I don't want to be eaten by crows.
Truth is silenced. It is the people who are shackled. The people eye the north with fearful eyes, but it's from the south that the storm approaches. Are you leading me somewhere, or are you the one being led? You ask for answers, but what you need are questions.
So much suffering. So much death. Like my husband and my children, this soldier gave her life for Evermore. I wish I could offer her more comfort, but I can only pray with her to gods whose mercy I have come to doubt. Many others are enduring similar losses. I deserve no more compassion than they do. In truth, knowing they share my grief has been a great consolation. You are not here for grieving, though. Is there some official business that demands my attention? Oh, of course. Glarica told me. I hope you'll forgive her. Her intentions are good, but she misled you. That request was not on my behalf. She can't seem to accept my decision to step aside and let Duke Renchant handle all matters of state. I would, but at another time. I hope you understand. Losing my family, I just need time, and I believe this is how I can best serve the people right now. If you have concerns about security, though, you must report them to the Duke. Thank you for respecting my wishes. Perhaps you can convince Glarica to do the same. She's already off again investigating some ship at the docks. These matters are the Duke's concern now, and he has my support. He'll appreciate your help, though.
Help me get back on my feet.
That is indeed an immense relief, Yoren. Give us room to breathe. But it doesn't mean we can rest on our laurels.
I know. It's only one victory, Your Grace. But I hope it's a sign of more to come.
I do too, but that's going to require more work on both our parts. And there's nothing for it but to get it done. You're dismissed, Captain. Aha! You must be the hero whose bold deeds Captain Huron was just recounting. Retaking the lighthouse may seem trivial, but in times like these, it's huge. Say, you look like someone I've been hearing quite a bit about. May I ask your name? As I expected, your reputation precedes you. You've become something of a legend in the kingdoms of the Daggerfall Covenant. You're certainly welcome in Evermore. These are desperate times. Have you seen much of the city? Indeed. Then by all means, tell me what you discovered. So you saw those? You are very perceptive. The truth is that we found an ally to help defend the city. I'm not quite ready to make this information public, though. Yes, that is the ship that transported the supplies. There are more supplies being offloaded even now. Please, if you'll just be patient, I'll share all the details in due time. For now, you must stay away from that ship, though. It's off limits. I opened our gates to the refugees, but there are limits, and that man was completely mad. Standing outside the castle, shouting that we were all going to die? The people of Evermore are terrified already. We can't afford such nonsense. Oh, yes, I'm well aware of this. It's unfortunate, but the terms the guild demanded were downright rapacious. Furthermore, the number of mercenaries they could actually muster was almost insignificant. It simply wasn't worth it. Listen, I can tell that you have an inquisitive nature, and I know your intentions are good, but I cannot risk revealing all my plans just yet. Suffice to say, I've found a way to protect the city from the Reachmen, and that is what matters. I'm sure that you realize that with the Reachmen bearing down on us, I have a great many matters to attend to. I absolutely do not wish to be rude, but I must be going. Come back another time and I will endeavor to answer all your questions. All right. If you cannot be convinced to let this go, you must understand, desperate times call for desperate measures. If those Reachmen take this city, they are going to kill every man, woman, and child. Anything is better than that. Hear me out. A few weeks ago, Imperial diplomats made an offer. They have a deal with the Reach. If we surrender the city to Imperial authority, the Reachmen cannot attack. Not only will we survive, but we'll also retain considerable autonomy. We don't have a choice, and at this point, you don't either. Steps are being taken as we speak, and there's nothing you can do to stop us from moving forward. You don't even have any proof with which to raise an alarm. As I said before, the Bulse Queen is off-limits to all but its crew and the city guard. You've given me no reason to trust you, so at this point, I think I'll say no more.
Ah, you're back.
Hey you! What are you doing slinking around my ship? I don't remember inviting you aboard. Make your business quick, or you'll be picking seaweed out of your teeth. No, you don't, and I don't mean to let you. Only crew and special guests down there. Anyone else goes down, they'll get cut. I care about two things, my crew and my gold. Seeing as you threaten neither, you haven't got a leg to stand on. Leave while you still have the rest of your limbs.
Funny boat, funny business. I want to see what's in the hold, too. Crows on the ship, with the crews on the shore. South Button City Wall. One carries the key to open the door. Approach with care, though. Drunk sailors can be salty.
Familiar face.
I don't take kindly to people snooping around my dice game. Nothing personal, but you'll have to die.
I think perhaps I had our assignments wrong. I should have checked the stocks and sent you to check the ship. I shouldn't have come here on my own, but I had a feeling the Duke was making bad decisions. Of course, calling this a bad decision would be an understatement. If we don't do something, he's going to hand the city over to Imperial control. The Queen is going to have to take charge. If this doesn't knock her into her senses, I don't know what will. We need proof, though. Can you untie me and then look around? Anything to prove what they're planning. I'll meet you out on the docks.
The captain of the Buell-Say Queen still hasn't furnished me with her manifest. I suspect it's smuggling, but the guard won't even help me enforce it.
You just missed it. The ship's captain left the ship and headed toward that alley to the south. She looked like she was in a hurry. What did you find, though? Anything that reveals more about their plans? The gar-bellied bastards! I knew that ship was carrying more than just supplies. We need to move fast. Can you follow the captain and find out what she's up to? Then take the proof to the Queen. If this doesn't wake her up, nothing will. I'll go and find Sir Jarnett and any other guards who remain loyal. After you've informed the Queen, come and meet me outside the inn.
Your cargo's unloaded, and I'm here for payment. I hope you don't come to regret this, Huron.
If I come to regret this, I'd probably be dead anyways. I don't expect you to understand, Captain. Here's your payment.
Thanks. When are you and your allies making your move? I want to make sure I'm long gone by then.
Warming everyone up at the weapons cache in the South Alley in just a few hours. So I'd set sail right away. Kind speed you, Captain.
What do you want?
Why, look who it is.
Have you any news from Northglen? My aunt lives there, but I've not seen her among...
Somehow I had a feeling I'd see you again. Tell me, has Glerica gotten herself into trouble this time? Or is it that the Duke didn't take kindly to you questioning his decisions? Oh, come now, you can't expect me to believe that. Has Glerica resorted to trying to deceive me now? This is a jest, right? Surely, Duke Renchant would never even consider such a thing. I can't believe what I'm reading. How could Renchant be such a fool? Has he given up on defending the kingdom and decided to accept the lesser of two evils? This is simply mad! Of course not. Though I can blame myself no less. I'm the one who trusted the fool. He's apparently just a damn coward. You know, Aemond told me Renshin was naive. You've now given me proof of this fact. If the Imperials take Bankrai, it will be a fatal blow to the Covenant. We can't allow Renshin to do this. Damn it. He's leaving me no choice but to take back the throne. I know Glerica will be pleased to hear that. Where is she, by the way? Smart girl. She always has been. I suppose I should have listened to her. Very well. We need to do this smoothly. The city has suffered enough. We don't want a battle in the streets. We need to take time to do this right. How much time do we have? Gods, there goes that idea. You must root out these spies right away then. Do not use weapons though. That will cause a panic, and I don't want that. Find Glerica and Sir Jarnet and figure out another way. After you've ensured the city is safe, meet me in the castle, and we'll deal with Duke Renshin. The poor fool probably doesn't even realize he's committed treason. May the gods keep you, my courageous friend. No, he needs to watch his cowardly little plan crumble first. I want him demoralized before we confront him. I also want to think about exactly what to say. It has to be good, you know.
And fools, hard to know which is which, or who is who. Choose poorly and wind up dead. A witness I was, and nothing more. But if a crow can spy someone, so can a spy. But you know the true threat now. Imperials! Now, you must listen to me. Uella, they call me. Those that follow. From the Reach we come to conquer this land, but the enemy of an enemy is a friend. So I am a friend. My Reachmen march this way. Evermore will be ours, but not if Imperials have it. They are a threat right now for you and me. You need friends. Let us be friends then, and join together to beat our common foe. Temporary truce. Neither wants Evermore Imperial. We work together, destroy the Imperials, then we are enemies again. I like it not myself, but you have no one to help you now. The only choice for either of us is to work together. You cannot strike down spies, but my crows can. Pretty little pets. Mark our foes, signal my crows, and we will strike. We will clean the city of Imperials. Then we are enemies again.
Even the Duke has acknowledged this is the best course of action. Ah, another sharp-minded citizen. Do you also prefer not to be ravaged by Reachmen? Strength. That is the only thing that will stop the invaders. Where can we find a strong army? Why, the Imperials are only a few days' march to the south. Join me, friend. Let us give this city to those who can defend it.
One thing... Here's someone who's seen a battle or two. You've read the writing on the wall, haven't you, my friend? Evermor is doomed without Imperial assistance. Help us. Help us take the city from the Covenant, and we will usher in a new day. A day of security and self-respect. A day of survival.
The rumors about the Empire enslaving civilians are completely untrue. Ah, did you hear the voice of reason and come to listen more closely? The Reachmen are at the city's doorstep. Something must be done, must it not? Simple. Surrender the city to Imperial control. If the Imperials have Evermor, the Reachmen cannot attack. You will survive, and even better. Surrender now, and we promise you will remain free.
I liked you, friend. I did. I'm sorry it had to come to this.
Can you believe this? The Duke's apparently run off to avoid facing me. After what he's done, I suppose I shouldn't be surprised. Tell me, though, is the city safe? Have the Imperial spies been dealt with? Excellent. Then dealing with the rat I let into the castle is all that remains, if we can just find whatever hole he's scurried into. No, but what about Sir Jarnet and Glerica? All three of you deserve a medal after this is done with. No. Glerica. Glerica is gone? But why? She was an innocent young girl. I knew the Imperials were heartless, but do they have no honor at all? Wretched. He's responsible for this too. Where is that bastard? Yes, he's actually most likely to be down in Eamon's private rooms. Unworthy swine that he is. Will you come with me? I could call the guard, but it might be better if you and I just deal with this quickly and quietly. Wretched, you bastard. I rue the day I gave you the throne. What you've done is nothing less than treason.
Welcome back, Argella. Good work. First, you ran this kingdom into the ground, then you dumped it into my lap. Now the two of you repay me by sabotaging my plans and destroying any hope we had of surviving the Reachman attack. Of course they were. Have you seen the Reachman's numbers? You think you can take them all on yourself? You cut off one head, but there are thousands more, and they are barbarians. You've doomed the people of this city to a fate worse than death. Whatever it was, the alternative was death. Listen, there's nothing more to say. If you expect me to apologize and plead for mercy, you're out of luck. I was doing the right thing. Lock me up if you must, but I don't deserve death. Very well then. Argella, my fate is in your hands. You know I made the only rational choice.
I wouldn't call it rational, Renchant. I would call it cowardly. Aemond died defending this kingdom, and you'll die for betraying it. Now that he's been dealt with, we have real work to do. Please, meet me outside.
Bet the Lion Guard could use another strong orc. Maybe I'll head to the redoubt and offer my services.
Thank you for dealing with that situation. I know it wasn't pleasant, but life just isn't always a pleasant thing. Certainly not in my case. Nevertheless, we have responsibilities we cannot simply ignore. Glarica taught me that. And you, of course. I know. I feel partially responsible for her death. But if I give in to remorse or sorrow, I would be doing her a dishonor. From now on, I'm going to honor Aemond's legacy, rule as he would have, as he and Glarica would want me to. No matter what the future holds, Evermore is deeply indebted to you, as I am too. In times like these, we all need a hero like you, to remind us that no matter how bad things get, there's always hope.
Is that the sound of battle I hear? The Imperial's tricks are undone, but your stone city will still fall. Through crow's eyes, I spy your weak defenses. These lands belong to the Reach, and we will soon sweep through. You don't need a crow's eyes to see this. Use your own. Look north. If you do not spy my armies now, you will soon. Count your blessings, though. Death at a Reachman's hand is more merciful than enslavement at an Imperial's. The sooner your fate is accepted, the better we will all feel. I am queen of these lands, not that weak woman over there. Tell her the truth. After the city's sacked, I'm going to peck out her eyes.
I hope you'll forgive me for being blunt, but under the circumstances, there's no time for social niceties. I am still in awe of what you've done to save the city, but did I just see you talking to a crow? So that's why all these crows have descended on the city? Gods, I knew it wasn't a coincidence. Fine, I'll give every guard a bow. I think it's time for us to do some bird hunting. First though, if you spoke to their leader, what did she say? I see. Not really much of a surprise. The Reachmen are bearing down on Northglen already. We've already sent every soldier we can spare, but there's little chance of turning the tide of battle. Your presence there might make all the difference. Once you get there, I'm sure the Reachmen won't know what hit them. Look for Sergeant Anteve in Northglen. He was just sent there, but with Captain Huron dead, he's one of my most senior officers. I suppose I'll need to give him a promotion. Sure, he could probably use some encouragement. Tell him I'm going to promote him to lieutenant, assuming we defeat the Reachmen, of course.